Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. Happy Halloween.
Same day, different shit.
It is actually the same day.
We're just
before.
kidding.
We're just kidding. Yeah.
These are kind of fun though.
They are fun.
So today's topic is doing some work and then thinking that you can coast.
Yeah, thinking that that's all you needed to do.
And then not reaching out to somebody until your wagon's on fire and it just smoked past you down the hill.
And you're like, okay, I have to divorce my husband or my wife. I have to find a new job. Everything's going awful, terrible. I give up.
Everything's on fire.
Everything's on fire. It's all on fire. It's fiery in here.
Yeah. So that's the thing. We've been finding a lot of people coming to us out of desperation.
Yeah.
And they started doing the work.
Yeah.
And they did feel good.
Yeah. Felt pretty good.
Until they found another thing, another layer that they needed to work through, but they weren't quite sure how to approach it or didn't want to deal with it right now. Now it's festering under the skin and it's a big gaping wound.
And you don't know though sometimes. You know, you just know that you don't feel right or you feel uncomfortable, but you're like, well, it's not that uncomfortable. You know, I can live with this for a little while. Right. I could sit with this for a little bit. It's not terrible. I don't feel right. I feel really not right, but I can live with it. I can coast. I can get by for
But then you don't take the steps to dig into it and see what it's made of. What feelings are in there?
Yeah.
You know, are you taking the time to care for yourself? Are you taking your detox baths? Or are you just trying to push through, thinking that if I just get past this, if I just make it to the weekend, if I just make it to that vacation, but then you come back from vacation and it's all still there.
Yeah.
And you brought yourself. The thing is that the key is not to wait until your whole life is on fire.
Yeah.
It's when you sense that discomfort.
Yeah.
Try to get in there and see what it's made of. Sometimes we like to sit in our shit. And I don't think anybody is exempt from that.
No.
But I do think that the sooner you recognize it, because things are moving rapid fire.
Yeah.
We're being shown all these different things, whether it's through dreams or scenarios in your life for people who are being difficult.
Yeah.
So I think it's this merry-go-round. This is how I described it the other day. We've done this. We've done this throughout hundreds of thousands of lifetimes. And now in this lifetime, we get scenario after scenario after scenario. And we're on this merry-go-round. And it's whipping around and it's whipping around and it's whipping around. And we're seeing the same scenery, time after time after time until it makes us sick. And so that's the time before you get sick. Close your eyes, go within, and take yourself off of that merry-go-round. And now find your center, get yourself stable, because you're on that merry-go-round for a reason. Now, why does this scenario keep coming up for you? Different players, different instances, same topic, same feeling, same, what is it about? That. What is it trying to tell you? So that was just a scenario we used on Sunday, that merry-go-round of life making you sick.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've had some people that I've been working with that I think, sorry, I'm going to just say this. It seems like when you are doing the work and you are staying consistent with it and just doing a little bit at a time, and that's not to say you should you should listen to your body and your own intuition. If it's time to back off a little bit because you need some time for processing, or you just need to take care of your physical self, do that. But that's the thing about it, is that you do have to listen. You have to pay attention. You can't just, numb the pain away or bury your head in the sand or just think it's going to go away on its own, because it's not. And, so I feel like the consistency is part. And even if you're not willing to actively work, like Chris mentioned,
with somebody, you mean?
Well, with somebody, or just even on your own. But I mean, I think there's value in working with other people. I know, as somebody who is a practitioner, in the healing business and life coaching, and I know
we've done a lot of work together.
We have done a lot of work together, but we still see other people.
Yes.
We go see other healers and other coaches, and like, that's the thing of it, is it's all like, we need help too, to get, because it makes me a better coach and a better healer if I can discharge some of that stuff too. Yeah. So I feel like consistency. I mean, I'm going to tell you, I have 2 22-year-olds living in my house, and a 24-year-old, and plus my husband. But do you know what? I have made detox baths. Well, not my husband, but the girls. And one of these girls, 2 of these girls, are not bath takers. They are not bath takers, but they have realized that it's one tool that they can put in their toolbox to use to get rid of some of that stuff. Because if you are going through some stuff, you are going to detox from it. You are going to have a purge. I know I'm really clear about what my purges are now, but I never did necessarily know what they were going to look like. So I didn't know. But then I started taking and now I even know, if I need to change up some things in the bath, to different oils or different things. But yeah, it's like, so even just taking care of your physical body, journaling, I know some of my girls are big, actually all the girls that live in my house are big journalers. They're very good about that, which makes me so proud of them. But, there's just so many things that you can do. And, in terms of what work looks like.
Yeah.
Like work is talking. Like we talk every day almost. Well, we don't really
not
anymore.
As
not as
much. But
when we were working our 9 to 5s, we talked every single day just about. But now it is fewer and far between. But the time that we spend together is more quality instead of quantitative. It's just more quality now. So
it is,
I think.
And the thing is, we both do the work on our own. Before it was, feeling our way through it. Yeah. It's almost like you throw enough shit at the wall, something's gonna stick. Yeah. That was kind of the original approach until we got better at it. Yeah. And now, instead of having everybody throwing all the shit at the wall, you at least have people that are willing to, point you in the right direction. I don't mind doing it for people. No. There are certain boundaries for that, that, we can talk about boundaries another day, but my time is valuable in terms of what I'm willing to allow people to take from me without charge and without, it's my terms. And so I don't want to be pulled over my line, but if I let you know that you're starting to take too much. But I am very much about guiding people. I love it. I'm helpful. I've used all the tools. I know how to use them, and I will always offer people a way to use their tools appropriately. And I love making these videos. It is fun. But this is my time. This is something that we've opted to do to give back. Not out of obligation, this is not a paid thing. Like, this is our voluntary offering to help people move through the process, maybe hopefully a little more pain-free. I think it raises the vibration too, don't you think too, Chrissy? I do. Yeah. But Grace was talking about the detox baths. I've been doing detox baths for a long time. And the goddess baths, even the goddess bath, I got to give my granddaughter her first goddess bath almost 4 years ago now.
Oh my gosh.
It had breast milk in it and flower petals, and like it was a beautiful bath, and we set the intention. My granddaughter is a goddess. I'm sorry. She is.
Why are you sorry?
Well, I'm not sorry. That's true. I am not sorry that my granddaughter is a goddess.
She's a goddess.
But we're teaching her young to be a goddess, stand in her power.
Yeah, at 4.
She is powerful too. She's beautiful. And when I ask her, I'm like, do you know how special you are? She says, yes.
Imagine, you guys.
At 3.5, she knows how special she is.
Yeah.
And
love that.
She knows that she's not even from here. Imagine that. Kids know. They know well more than we do.
They do.
But going back to the detox bath, even my husband, when he thought he was getting sick, I said, babe, why don't you take a detox bath? It's magnesium and baking soda. And I did squirt a little peroxide in there with him. And it actually got things moving in his sinuses. And he felt better that night.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to be said. Oh, and I put colloidal silver in this bath too.
Yeah.
Because we both brew it and we go through a lot of it.
At least, picture a day. I added a little borax. I put in some charged water. I put in some oils, Epsom salts, baking soda.
I didn't make a thing about oils though.
Well, and then I also put the diffuser on too.
Yeah.
Because I added oil to that. That's like the one that's in there now is like a protection oil. It's a for protection, overall protection. So like it can do anything.
It can be as simple or as complicated as you like.
As you feel.
Like, what do you need?
Yeah.
Take an inventory. What do you need? What do you think will make you feel better? And pick the things up and say, do I need this? And if it resonates with your body, then yes, you do probably, So try it out, see what fits. But don't wait until your life is on fire to do the next layer. Life is full of layers to get through. We're not, all right, I'm not going to say how old I am because I'm not, everybody that knows me knows I'm roughly 50 years, but I have stopped aging, I decided. And so years don't count. But the thing is, I'm just saying that because this stuff didn't just happen and land overnight. So it will not come off just overnight. It comes up in layers, which makes it beautiful.
Right.
Because if we were given everything all at once, it might destroy us.
Right.
So as the scenarios present themselves, you work through them. Sit with the feeling. What does it bring up for you? Is it hurt? Is it grief? The thing is, I usually say that anger is just the blanket that we put over things. It's the fuel blanket, right? Like anger fuels your fire. It fuels your rage. It fuels your energy sometimes. Like we get off on that. Like it's energizing. Fuel for us.
Yeah.
Like we really enjoy it sometimes because look at all the shit we accomplished in a rage or in a fit of anger. And you clean the whole house. Okay, well, I mindfully clean my house and there's no pain and it doesn't stress me out. It doesn't take me to a place where I have to constantly chase that feeling in order to get something done.
Yeah.
And so that's like there's a lot of people that will only get things done in that feeling. I know what I'm trying to say, but it's not like it's that drama effect.
Yeah.
If your life is on fire and it's not chaotic, you can't thrive.
Right.
But all you're doing is overstimulating yourself so that you can't do anything.
Right.
It looks way different.
Well, you're doing busy work is what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're doing all the things. And I can relate to that. I can identify with that because when there's something I don't want to do, I will do a ton of other things except that thing.
Yeah.
I will do everything else.
Basement.
I mean, even stuff that I don't write. My basement's a prime example. I will do everything else, even things that are not enjoyable also, but it's not that thing. That thing that I don't want to do, it's not that thing. So I will do all those things, and that's busy work. Those are distractions. It's key. And the thing is that
your feet are moving, but you are not.
No. And the thing is that that's where having somebody that holds you accountable is helpful. And that's that's kind of and that's us all day long.
We both do that.
That's
for
that
each other,
accountability
for other
people. And we do this. This is what we do. But having that accountability is huge because left to my own devices, I won't do it unless I'm in enough pain and discomfort. I guess that's been my go-to, because I will just put it off. I really will.
Yeah.
So
same thing. I can be the same way. There's things that I don't want to do, but then I wait and I think about, like, I'll put music on, which allows me to dance through whatever it is that I'm plugging away at. Makes it a lot less painful.
Yeah.
But the thing is, there's really not much that I don't want to do anymore.
Yep.
I can't think of anything
Yeah.
that I dread. I don't live like that anymore. I enjoy my life. Even the hard spots. I appreciate them because I know what's on the other side of that. It's satisfaction at getting the job done.
Yeah.
When I painted my office, like, I had holes to patch and everything. Like, I transitioned it from my boys' bedroom that wasn't taken care of real well. Bunk beds and boy stuff and
just boys
spills on the walls and just raising boys. That was their childhood bedroom. So there's stuff, but I transitioned that into my office, which means I had holes to patch, and I took great pride in that room. I put my own sweat equity into that room, but I enjoyed it. Even my dog, that's his favorite room because he spent a lot of time with me in there too. And when that door is open, he's in there, and he's laying on that big fat carpet that I got. It's just an area rug.
Carpet.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
it's like gotta be
carpet.
2 inches thick.
Yeah.
And I took my time with that room. I put every single piece in there intentionally. At first, I didn't know where to start, but then I just started. I put music on and I started patching the holes. I moved everything out because somebody had a fire and needed the furniture. That was easy to get rid of. I gave them everything. And then I donated whatever was left. But it was easy to put together, and I did it with intention. The things that I need and the way I put the closet together, and the 6 cube thing that's in the closet, everything has a place. Everything is organized. Everything that I kept it because I love it, or it's for my business. Everything is accounted for that needs to be accounted for. There's no garbage in there. That room means too much for me. So I was very intentional and mindful about that. But the point is, even the things that we don't want to do or that we dread doing, there's a way to do them that doesn't hurt so much.
And I'll just, because you mentioned my basement, that was a tough one. There was a lot of emotion attached to that project. That was a big project. In the past, the basement was always a thing. When I was a kid, it was a thing. I knew it was a thing for my grandparents. Like it was generational stuff.
Yeah.
And I had always been the keeper of the crap. So
the timekeeper too, because you held on to the memories.
I did.
The photo albums.
Right.
The pieces and
things. So like that basement was tough. And I knew that possibly, and it did actually happen, that my daughter's roommate came to live with us. And so I had to create a space for her to be, and that was very motivating. I got a lot of coaching help around that project from other coach friends of mine who helped me find the motivation to stay motivated a lot of, and I would, and I had to be kind to myself, because sometimes I could only go down there for an hour, because I would find stuff and it would be very emotional for me, very emotional. Mm-hmm. And I didn't just want to take stuff and pitch it. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to do it that way. I did a lot of really sorting, and Chris, I told Chris, I said, I feel like I'm moving stuff from one side to the other, one side to the other, one side to the other. And she said, well, is there less of it? And I was like, oh my God, there is. And so that was my process, and really intentionally letting things go, like really sitting with it, deciding if I wanted to let it go. And then I would do it with the Buy Nothing page, where I live, because it got a new lease on life, and I found people who would love it and take care of it. And it was easy, instead of just taking it to a thrift store or wherever, consignment place. I didn't want to do it that way. And it took a lot longer, believe me, but it was much more intentional and much more soul satisfying to me. And it felt honorable. It felt honorable to me.
It gave you an opportunity to be with the people who those things
that too.
belonged to.
And to say goodbye.
Yeah.
Oh, my ear's ringing. But yeah, like it was a cool process, you guys, but I avoided it like the plague for the longest time. I avoided it until I couldn't avoid it any longer. And even then, even when I couldn't avoid it, I had to still use the resources that I had, all the people that I had supporting me, the people that were, the detox baths. I knew, I listened to my body, and I knew my own limits too. If I could only go down there for an hour, that's what I did. If I could go spend half a day, that's what I did. And I would get myself a cup of coffee, and I would put some music on, and I would have fun with it. I took pictures. I would find stuff, and I would take pictures, and I would send them to my kids, or, I'd find artwork of my kids or something of my grandmother's or something from my dad, and I would send that out to my siblings or my kids or whoever, and I just made it, and I made them part of it, to be with me even though they physically weren't there. So like that was my process. And I look back on that, and I am so proud of myself.
I'm proud of
like
you too.
I know
the thing is,
I just want to cry.
As the timekeeper, your family knows that the things that they couldn't part with, you will have a trouble parting with as well.
Yeah.
That's why you're selected as the timekeeper.
I'm all verklempt.
And the thing is, it's an honor. They entrusted you at that time.
Yeah.
Now they're looking down going, why are you saving that shit? It doesn't mean anything.
I know.
It doesn't mean anything.
I know.
But for a moment, we got to laugh at a picture, or she'd send us a picture of herself in a costume that she wore, or, and there were days that she couldn't go down there at all.
Yeah,
she had to go out to a park and feed the birds, or... there were times that she could not go down there because it was such an emotional, heavy lift.
Woo.
But you have to know that about you.
Yeah.
Don't push through it if you're not in the place to do it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's being mindful and intentionally setting yourself up for success. You don't light the match and go, oh shit, what am I going to do with this? So you stick it in your pocket? What are you thinking? Now you just set your whole world on fire.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, right.
You strike the match with a place to put it, right?
Yeah.
Like it's got to be extinguished properly.
It's supposed to warm you, not engulf you and incinerate you.
Not incinerate your whole life.
Just keeps you warm. Oh, you guys, this is so fun.
I smell smoke.
I did smell smoke. I remember I melted my coat last weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
anyway,
the thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, Anyway, this is a good topic.
It is a good topic.
I think we should do more with this one.
There are tender things about being that timekeeper, so I give people a lot of credit. Nobody trusted me to keep time. I mean, I have a few things.
Oldest.
She is the oldest. And she was the most likely to hang on to emotional things where other people had attachments to, because she did too. I've always been the one I
loved stuff.
I'm not attached to anything. I can walk away from anybody at any time. See ya, suckers. That was me. I was the runner. I was like, bye. Have a good time.
No, I was gonna be the next Graham, so
yeah.
I was groomed.
Prepping and ready.
I was groomed, yeah.
And I wasn't.
Yeah.
I was the one that was out there breaking all the rules and doing all the things that people don't want you to do.
Now she's a way shower.
I am a way shower, but the thing is, as a way shower, I've shown the way to a lot of people who are now also way showers, and that's the beauty of that. I got to start there and bring people into it so that they get to go, this is how we do it.
Yeah.
The thing is, this is part of the reason I wanted that tribe of women so bad, that web, because I see it in action, and I see it in my mind's eye, because there were lifetimes that was how we lived. That community, that was our whole life.
Yeah.
That community was life. That was how we got through every single day. We relied on each other, and we were strong together, and we were powerful. And the women were the ones that were the intuitive, and the men honored their women in a way that allowed them to tap into their gifts and guide the family, guide the community. And we were the healers, and we were the teachers. And not to say that the men can't be teachers or healers or any of that. That is not what I'm saying. But there was a different time where we were valued as a community, and everybody brought something different to the table, and everybody had value, and we do still, but we bury it under all this other trash. We don't need to do that to ourselves. We need to find our way back to each other, and that takes time. And it takes deliberate action to not be so fearful of one another. That's a trust that we lost a long time ago. The powers that be wanted to keep us separate because we are very strong together. That's why they separated us. The 60s, they were onto something.
Yeah.
They were onto something. Yeah. Psychedelics kind of brought that out. And we know how I feel about psychedelics. So
that's a conversation for a different day.
But anyway, community is where it's at.
Yeah.
And we are building that community. And the people who are in it know that there is value. They've already seen it. It's touched them in some way. And I do think that that's where we're going back to. And that web.
Yeah. And to touch back on the doing your work part, having that community is of vital importance. Having that support and that network, that resource is huge.
And I do try to host a group, roughly once a month. We just had one this past Sunday, and it was beautiful. Beautiful. When I say that everybody brings gifts to the table, one of our ladies sung light language straight into the heart of another lady while the rest of us held space, and it was phenomenal. You could watch the dam burst. All that old stuff just cracked right open, and you could feel the vibration lifting in the room. It was incredible. So, there is a lot to be said about that community. It really is a powerful thing.
And now that young lady has some work to do.
And she does. It's a choice now, though.
Yeah.
It's a choice.
Yeah. Well, everybody's got choices.
Yeah.
You know?
The thing is...
That's the beauty of being human.
That's the part, like, and that's kind of where we started was, are people willing to do the work that it takes to get to the next level, to get to the next place? You know?
It's so freeing.
You can only plateau for so long before that next layer comes up.
It happens. It has to happen.
Yeah, that's how we get it going.
But the freedom that you feel
so good.
Facing each one of those challenges, it's just, there's nothing like it. It's indescribable.
Yeah. And the thing is, you can only help heal. You can only help people as much as you've been helped.
Yes.
So if you want to be of service, be of service to yourself first.
Please.
You can't help anybody if you did not put your mask on first, right? They tell you that even on an airplane, and there's nothing less spiritual than flying unless you're saying, oh God, the whole time. But other than that, like, it's not a super spiritual thing, is what I'm just saying. But putting your own mask on before you put somebody else's.
Yeah.
Do your work first. Get through the layers. And as long as you are consistently facing your own stuff, you're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
It shouldn't come out sideways when you're the one in the driver's seat. You know, those things flow in, you flow with them, see where they're going, see where you end up. You know, there is a flow to life. Just find it. Let it sweep in and take you. What is that emotion? What is that made of? That scenario, how did it make you feel? Flow with that. Flow with that and see where it takes you. What age does it take you to for the first time you ever felt that way? You know, there's a flow. Don't forget to let it find you. Just go with it.
Okay.
So we're 32 minutes in, so
it's a long one.
Clearly this was a good topic.
Yeah.
Reach out with any questions.
Yep.
The chat is open.
Yep.
Comments, discussion threads, whatever you guys want. But happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Just a week before the Tuesday
this will be
posted
on Halloween.
All right. Much love, many blessings.